Hi you guys, what's up and welcome back to the Smalletics channel. I'm squinting because I forgot that I never can open my eyes when I'm outside. I have this squinting problem. It's so funny if you look in like any of my Instagram photos when I'm outside, I cannot keep my eyes open. I have like really big pupils. But I wanted to be outside today because it's kind of nice and I thought if it was overcast that I'd be fine, but so bear with me as I squint at you for the next few minutes. So today I'm chilling on my rooftop. This is McCarran Park in the background. I don't use this roof as much as I really should or could, but it's a beautiful spot. And today I wanted to share some tips with you guys that have been coming up for the girls in my group program. So recently, the girls that are going through Petite PWR, the May session, so they've just gone through 1 month, they are experiencing, and this is a good problem to have, that their wrist strength is not, or their grip strength and wrist strength, we'll get into both, is sort of not strong enough to lift the weights that they can now lift. So meaning they go to deadlift, like their legs are really strong, but then the weakest factor is the wrist and it's limiting their ability to then progress their weights, right? Good problem to have, and it's very specific to petite women because obviously being shorter, we have proportionately smaller hands than well, to our bodies, and with that wrist. So our wrists and our hands are a tad bit shorter. So today I'm going to talk with you guys about some things that you can do to overcome this and how to integrate it into your workouts so that you don't have to be limited by your wrist strength. Okay, so I'm going to set this up here. I brought some things to show you. Give me 1 minuto. Okay, so all set up here. You can see I have a couple things on the table, and I'm going to go through each of them. There's one thing missing, but I'm going to go through each of them and talk about what might be the right option for you if this is something you're experiencing as a petite, and basically let me know below if this is something you have experienced as a petite. I find it fairly common, especially if you are already kind of like starting to work out or you've been working out for a little while and you lift weights. You'll notice that you will hit a kind of a moment in time where your wrist or hand grip is just kind of too small to get the job done that you want to get done, like you want to lift heavy and everything, and that's totally fine. And I'll tell you guys a story about this in a minute. Let me start with the one that's not here on the table. There's 3 things you can do to help your grip so that you can lift heavier and not have your wrist be the limiting factor in your making progress. So the first one are training gloves, like hand workout gloves, and these I don't have any because I don't like them, but you guys have probably seen people wear them at the gym. To be honest, the reason why I don't have them is because if you only want to use, or you only want to supplement your grip with certain exercises, which is appropriate for me because you don't want to lose your grip strength overall, right? We want to be functionally fit. We want to be in a really good shape all around, and that includes grip strength because it's a very functional measure of fitness. For example, carrying grocery bags, that's grip. If you ever want to be able to do a pull-up that's unassisted, that's grip. So I don't like gloves because generally you would put them on and then wear them for your whole workout, and you may not want to supplement your grip for every exercise. However, that is an option for people who like the look and people who just do want to wear their grips the whole, have a grip help the whole time. Probably really good if you're a petite woman who has like even smaller hands than what's proportionate to your body, or your grip is just really weak, or your wrists are like incredibly small. Then you might need to supplement your grip all the time, but I doubt it. I think you can get your grip super strong without it. So that's option 1. Option 2 is chalk. So I have here some pure chalk uncut. I do use this depending on what I'm doing. This is pretty classic, like gymnastics, sports, probably the OG of the grip world here. It's cheap, and the pros are, you can put it on just your calluses or just the parts of your hands that get torn up. Helps prevent blistering, helps you grip better, and it's not like total grip. You still have to train a little bit, so it's a good medium. The kind of cons of it is it's messy, which can kind of be fun and kind of badass if you're into that. I know I am. It's fun to like get kind of messy, but if you're wearing like an all black outfit, it's probably gonna get like all over your outfit. So that's really the only cons, and it's a good option. Something that I like even better than this, it's called liquid chalk, and it's basically it comes in a tube and you squirt it out into your hand, and then you go like this, and then you let it air dry. It has alcohol in it though, so if you don't like that smell or it's too harsh, watch out. And then you kind of do this and it dries just like this, but it's in a more controlled way, and you won't end up like inhaling it when you're like patting it on. So I like liquid chalk. I like this regular chalk, and the times I would use this is mostly deadlifting. Like if I was in a phase where I was lifting extremely heavy. I'm not right now. I'm doing a lot of hypertrophy and I'm lifting heavy, but it's still not anywhere near like my, you know, capacity to lift. If you're training really heavy, that's going to be really helpful, and it's cheap. And the third option, this is my top preference, are called straps. Okay, so they look kind of weird. I'll show you up close too. They're just a straight strap. This side has a small hole in it, and then this is padded for comfort, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to put it through here. And I brought a dumbbell so I can show you the application. You're going to, I have this the wrong way, thread it through and you put it on your wrist. These are my favorite. You're going to pull it tight on your wrist, and you want the strap to be going in between the thumb. So if you had it wrapped the way I just did a second ago, it would be going the other way, and that won't help you. So you want to pull it tight. And then what you'll do is when you have a bar or anything, technically you can do it with dumbbells too. I mean, if you're lifting really heavy dumbbells, I would say just switch to barbell work for your deadlift or whatever, overhead press. But if you're, and you wouldn't really need this for overhead press, this is mostly like pull exercises. So what you do is you're gonna put it underneath, see how I looped it underneath the barbell or dumbbell, and then you wrap it around, and then you grip down, and then you can kind of, I like to say like rev it like a motorcycle. Not that I've really ever been the front seat driver on a motorcycle, but I would imagine, you know, that's how it goes, rev it up. So you put it on, and then when you do go to pull up, you have the support. See how like my hand doesn't even have to be attached? You have the support of not just your wrist, but your whole arm, which is gonna be a lot stronger than our wrists in our case. This is my favorite because it just feels the most comfortable for me. If your wrists are a lot tinier than me, then this might not be comfortable. You kind of have to figure out what works for you. But I find this is the most comfortable. I feel like really comfy lifting weights, and when I do lift with straps, I can lift so much heavier. Probably a good 10, 15 pounds. Like it gets, maybe even more. I don't know, I've never looked at the actual difference, but this is really useful if you're trying to work on grip. So some commentary on straps and the joys of New York City, emergency vehicles. So some things that, the story I wanted to share with you. Oh, it's getting sunnier out also, and I like cannot see anything. I wanted to share with you that when I first got into fitness, I followed all the rules, right? I followed all the rules that were the rules for people of average or taller height. And that got me absolutely nowhere. One of the rules that is kind of unwritten / trainers spoke this to me verbally when I first was getting started, and you know, you're looking to learn from people. They would say, oh, we don't use we don't use wrist wraps or training gloves because it weakens your grip, and also it's not a true measure of strength if your deadlift is like, I don't know, random number 200 pounds. Not that that's what I'm lifting right now. I'm probably lifting like 135, something low and like maintainable. But if you're lifting your highest and you're using straps, a lot of the traditional fitness heads would say you're using straps and you couldn't lift that weight without them, so it's cheating. I don't know about you guys, but I'm here for me. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just trying to enjoy the gym, get stronger as a woman, petite woman, and feel good in my body. So if this is gonna do that, then fine. I don't care about like any of these ideas about cheating or not being strong. I mean, within the fitness industry, there's so many different communities, so I can see how in an industry or a community within fitness where competing is a big part of the sport, like they're really literally competing, like they're weightlifters or powerlifters, then yeah, straps are not allowed in the competition, and that makes sense. Why would you train with straps if you have to compete without them? That just set you up for failure. But if we're just us doing our thing and having fun, then that's what these are for, and they'll help you train the rest of your body and progress without being limited by the lowest common denominator, the lowest point, which is our wrist strength. So, you know, this is like a common theme in my fitness journey and also in building out Smalletics, is that when I followed the rules that they always told me, or they tell people for taller people or for what was right for other people, it just never worked. And a lot of that was because we have special considerations, and that's fine. It doesn't make us like any less strong or any less legit in the gym. And yeah, today I just say, like, F them. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna teach my girls what works best for our body type, what helps us reach our goals, what helps us feel healthy. And this is one of those things where, like, go ahead, use this. It's gonna be funner. You're gonna like hit your goals faster. You're gonna lift heavier. So yeah, I want to share these 3 things with you guys. Let me know if you've tried any of them, and if you have had this problem before, like if you found or wondered about your grip strength being like the limiting factor for your continued progress. I want to hear about it. And yeah, you guys, go be powerful. I'll see you soon in the next video, and have a great day. Bye.